Ladies and
But
gentlemen,
what-
gentlemen, 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 gentlemen.
When I
Push it in, when I push it in, when I push it in, when I push it in, when I push it in, when I push it in, when I push it in, she said, "Oh." Jealous. So there's that element of jealousy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Actually, I want it. We back. Oh gosh, we back.
We back.
Yo. What's going on, guys?
Summertime. Try to sit back and unwind.
Sit back and unwind. Summertime. Time to sit back and unwind.
Wagwan. What's up,
What's going on, guys?
Welcome back to another episode of
We're
The
back.
Point. We're back with another episode of The Point Podcast.
We say, bro.
Yeah, I'm good, bro, man. You telling me?
I'm all good, you know. I'm happier after our badminton session earlier today.
Yeah.
For you guys that don't know, we play badminton every fortnight.
Yep.
It's a nice little bit of exercise.
We're
in the
bougie.
morning, you know.
It is.
Great way to start the day. I can't lie.
It is.
And we've gotten so much better as well. Bro, one of those rallies earlier today, yeah. Oh, sublime, man.
Bro, now, I've realized that it becomes like second nature to hit the like there was a shot that Tomowa did, right? That came right to the it came to the ground, and I didn't even look at it. I just went bang, and it went up. I was like,
Exactly. Okay, we're at that point now.
Yeah, we're at that point.
So,
And you know it's crazy because we started it literally in the winter because obviously we wanted to get rid of our seasonal depression. It was a way for us to all link up.
I think it's like November.
November?
Yeah, November.
Yeah, and it's just been going since, man. So yeah, I'm good, bro, man. I'm good. The sun's out.
Good, yeah.
Which has been,
we're
you know,
enjoying
we're
it.
enjoying
A little
it.
heat wave.
Little heat waves upon us in England. You guys are feeling it.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it.
We're definitely feeling it.
The days that I've been working from home, I can't even work. Like, it'll be around like 2-3 o'clock.
Yeah.
If my boss ever sees this, I've always been working.
Yeah.
But if he did see it, I haven't.
Fam, I just wish it could be like this all the time. Like, I actually wish the UK was like this.
I think the country would be a way better place
way
if
better.
it was. Speaking about the country as well, so there's something that I want to start doing every week.
What's that now?
Or maybe not every week, once in a while. And I've done this before, but I wanna do it again. Let's bring it back. So you are the Lord Emperor of the United Kingdom,
yes.
right?
Oh yeah, we talked
In
about
your
this.
dictatorship.
Yes,
Name
and it
me
will be a
one
dictatorship.
thing. Name me one thing that you would change in this country.
One thing.
And it's only going to be one thing because we'll probably revisit this in the next few weeks or something.
Is this one thing that got me tripping?
That tiny
Listen. Sorry, really quickly.
Is it still up?
Huh?
Is it still up?
It is. What do you mean? Is it still up? Yes, it is. The hell still up. There will be no Amerie Slander tolerated in my dictatorship. That's what I would put.
For the UK?
For the UK, if you write anything about Amerie, you're going to the slaughterhouse, mate.
Actually, you know what? That song did actually go number one in the UK. So
did it go number one in the UK?
It went number one.
It went triple, quadruple platinum in my AirPods.
I think that's Michael's favorite song of all time.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
I actually think it is, you know.
Because he used to talk about that song for ages.
All the time,
and it is one of my favorite songs.
It's a bagger.
And then the remix.
The remix with it.
I used to watch the video so many times.
Yes,
bro. Watch it. And
bro.
Like, do you know what I wanted? Oh, do you know the best part about that video for Amerie? Because you know it was the soundtrack for Hitch, yeah? In there as well. I loved that video.
That video was hard, and it's got the cutscene where he has like the allergic reaction. I remember that was in the video.
I used to imagine. I was like, I want my life to be like this.
Yeah. Fam, Amerie, there would be no slander in my dictatorship. That was me. Because I just feel like that tiny desk, man. It was God. You have to watch it in its entirety. Yeah, you can't watch the clip. You have to watch it in its entirety.
Yeah. It was just that part that was a mashup, right?
Yeah, and I must say, the music director, I feel like they let her down, man. She needed to come back with a bang. Like, Amerie's the queen of summer bangers. You know what I'm saying? Summer love is Amerie.
That won't damage her legacy. Like, we still love her for the person that she is, the album that she gave us. The bangers that she gave us.
So much good music, so. Man. How about you? In your dictatorship, what would go down?
I got one. I would have smell detectors.
Okay.
On the underground, right? You have to. You see, you got knife detectors. Yeah, you know, back in the day in school, yeah, we used to have knife detectors because, of course, you know, some juvenile delinquents were having them, right? I'd have smell detectors at the entrance of every underground station. If you go through that and you smell, you are sentenced to solitary confinement.
Damn.
For 2 weeks.
Damn.
You can't see your loved one for 2 weeks because how dare you step on the train and smell, bruv?
It's actually rancid.
Like, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Like, we got showers. Yeah. We got baths.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a first world country, guys. Like, you get in the shower.
I'm sorry, I'm not accepting that. So that would be that's me. Yeah, smell detectors.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Some of you stink.
Bear man are going to prison then. Some of you can't lie. Bear man are going to prison.
Exactly.
You lot stink.
Exactly.
Some of you lot really do smell.
Rank in the morning. Sweat patches and everything.
That's the worst part. But you know, in the morning,
it's the sweat patches in the wintertime. It's like, my brother.
Yeah.
What's happened?
I know.
It's not even the sun. We ain't seen the sun in months.
It's actually very nasty. It's actually very, very disgusting. Ill. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
That would be my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, question. Do you think I was enjoying that drink, where you know when there's ice in the drink, guys? Look.
I need to do a refill, but it's all over. It's by the microwave.
Well, while you do that, let me ask you a question. You can go. Yeah, you can go. You're allowed. So yeah, my question for you, Afo, is: do you think that there are significant differences between male and female friendships?
That is a very good question. Do you know what? I'm trying to cut down my editing. I don't want to edit.
We will not be editing. We will not be
editing that.
Have you observed any? Do you know why I say that? Let me give you some context. Yeah. Because I was thinking about kind of like, you know, as everybody's coming of age and getting older and moving in different directions of life, right? Like, we talk about male loneliness, right? But then we talk about how I don't think we talk much about female loneliness. No. To be honest, it's not really a concept that I've even heard of. I don't even think that's something that female loneliness. I've never heard that. Those two words kind of put together. Not saying that obviously women will experience that, but I was thinking there are also sometimes where I see a lot of like story times of things that have happened to women, especially when it comes to like after they get married and things like that. Yeah. So it made me think, well, is it that women just jump from friendship group to friendship group, or is it that men are just lonely? Like, I'm trying to say.
My answer to you would be a question.
Okay.
Have you noticed the women in your life have multiple friendships, or have a singular friendship group that has changed from time to time? Because with men, I would say that doesn't necessarily happen.
Okay.
Like, and it depends on your experiences. I think what we go through is that we have multiple friendships from different stages in our lives that pretty much stay solid.
Okay.
Unless if there's like a mutual understanding that we're going our separate ways because of just life in general, right?
Okay.
Like, think about it, right? Myself, you, Enoch, since we were 16.
Yes.
The dynamic has changed because our brother got married.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we're still this.
Yeah.
We're still locked in.
Yeah.
Right? Cool.
Yeah.
Your friends from uni.
Yeah.
Right? No, not even them. Your friends from sixth form.
Yes.
Your boys that you went to Cavos with.
Yes.
Still boys.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Dynamic may have changed.
Yes.
Still boys now.
100.
Right? My boys from secondary school.
Shout out my boy Ashley, by the way. He got an MBE.
I heard.
He got an MBE, man.
Who's it that told me? Kelvin told me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh, cold. Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. Okay,
yeah, he's done his thing. So, yeah,
go on. So, that friendship group, solid. My friends from secondary school, now, still solid, right? Women, I don't know. Who knows? Because what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to use the women in our lives because I know how solid their friendships are and how it has been, right? So I think they're an anomaly. If I'm being, I
think some of the women in our lives are definitely an anomaly.
Yeah.
I think. Do you know what it is? I feel like when women fall out, they fall out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like if man them are not talking to each other or they fall out for some reason, they'll just distance themselves from each other for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But when they fall out, they
fall
really
out and fight and
it's
like, do you know what it is? It's like a.
It's about to be a what? A girl fight?
It's like a episode in EastEnders. You know when the woman's angry and she just breaks everything in the room. She breaks the glass, the special glass in the cabinet. You cheating on me, Phil!
I'm gonna insert that clip of that woman smashing on.
Remember, you know that meme from that woman from Footballers' Wives?
Yeah.
That was a good show, you know. Back
Footballers' Wives was
Footballers' Wives
show. What are you talking about? All the wags,
old school, you know.
proper old school, bruv.
Yeah, if you know, you know. But yeah, I just feel like there was a lot more instability when it comes to their relationships, and it's not. But the only thing that I would say is that they probably communicate a lot better than men do.
That's the other thing.
We're not great communicators.
That's the other thing.
Like we would, if the friendship ends, we're just gonna distance ourselves and we're not gonna have the relevant conversations. So I think that's definitely where we are very weak at. You know.
Do you think that's is that specific to men or is that a black man thing? Do you think, or do you think that's just generally? I think that's just general.
I think that's in general. Man.
I think that's in general.
I think we don't know how to have conversations, and so we just step away. Just step away and just don't really think too much about it. Then I start thinking, I was like, all right, cool. If you're gonna do that, imagine those people that are gonna have kids. Like, is that how the friendship is? Oh, not friendship. Shit. There's no friendship in parenthood. The relationship between your children, is that how it's gonna be?
Wait, you don't want to be friends with your kids? You don't think you can be friends with your kids?
When they're in their 20s.
Yeah, when they're 20s, it's true.
It can't be.
Me and you, we're not the same size.
We're
so
not the same size, and it can't be when they're younger because then they won't take me serious.
True.
When I'm angry and then all of a sudden they're laughing at me, I shut up.
Yeah.
That's when they're telling me to shut up. You know, I told Mr. Bangor. Do you remember Mr. Bangor?
Was he a business teacher?
It wasn't Mr. Because Mr. Bangor was a business teacher. There was a substitute teacher.
Yeah.
I told him to shut up. He's
what?
Nigerian. And do you know who?
Mr. Coca?
No, not Mr.
Oh,
Coca.
okay.
No. And so I told him to shut up. Yeah. Do you know who walked in after? Yeah. Mr. Morgan.
Oh,
Mr. Morgan. Is that obviously his Jamaican accent?
Yeah.
Ava. He's on to shut up. He looked at me in disgust. He's like I let everybody down. Because I said shut up under my breath as well.
Shut up.
But I felt ashamed when I said it.
I felt
ashamed.
You're telling me shut up.
Do you know what he said? He said, "Don't turn out like them."
Is it? Don't turn out like them.
Don't turn out like them.
We know what Mr. Morgan meant by that, mate. Bloody hell. Easy, mate. Like, Golden Bennett. Yeah, it's true. I think you're right, though. I do think that. I do think as men, we don't. We won't talk it out necessarily. We'll just.
Have you ever been in that position though?
What?
Where you felt like you need to have like certain conversations and it's just not being had? Or have you felt?
Yeah.
Have you ever felt hesitant of having those conversations?
Yeah, definitely. Because you don't know whether the person's gonna like, if you're gonna look kind of weak by saying, oh, you know, this is how I'm feeling, bro. By the way that I feel like this, you know what I mean? It's a bit of an odd conversation to kind of navigate. Yeah. But when I have had the conversations, I've had the clarity. Yeah. And then I've been like, all right, cool. I now have the information. I know what to do with that said information. Whereas I think sometimes that what I have seen with some of the female relationships that I've witnessed is there's a lot of perception and a lot of
jumping to conclusions.
Yes. There's a lot of jumping to conclusions, babes. It's not what it is. Like, oh, she thought this and da, and then you come to find out it was nothing.
It was nothing like that.
Yeah. So no, I just thought it was interesting because I was just thinking about it in general because I saw something earlier about like male and female relationships and how the dynamics are and stuff like that, and I just thought, but probably men are lonely, but that's probably because they've actually ascertained who their real friends are and who they're not.
Are you lonely?
Nah,
you're not lonely.
I wouldn't say I'm lonely. Okay, do you know what I would say? It's like that me. Why do you think I'm lying?
Yeah.
I don't know why. No, okay, don't tag it. By the way, guys, this week, yeah, we're just yapping, yeah. This is our yap session this week, yeah. So, I wouldn't say lonely.
I think
solitude. I'm enjoying solitude, which vivifies.
I think the pillow's mad cold.
You know what? Yeah,
I think the pillow's so cold.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Point Podcast. See you lot later.
Hey, I'll be real, bro. Bro, it's cold for me.
It's cold.
It's cold right now, bro. And so it's I'll be real. I was talking to my boy, yeah. His thing right now, yeah, he's so focused on career right now and work and things of that nature, right? Yeah. But what he says is that I got a regular babe that I'm lipsing, but I don't ever want to be with her. I don't ever want to be with her.
I know this friend, don't I?
I
know exactly who that is.
You know exactly who
I
that
know
is.
exactly who that is.
You,
man. It's you, fam.
He said, I just got a regular babe that I'm lipsing. And I'm
okay,
like,
fair play.
Yeah, that's how he's covering the void. But I think there's something deeper with that. Yeah. He's just masking it as just like, yeah, he's definitely focusing on his career. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think there has been, and I think a lot of men go through this, when there's a level of hurt that you've experienced, you find something to mask that void.
Okay.
And so what he's doing is that, okay, me and her, we get along really well.
Yeah.
I just want to lips.
I'm on his lip sync thing.
I'm on
bare
his
tongues, lip sync thing.
That's what he's on.
That's what he's on.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Other men, I think what other men do is, again, we try and find ways to cover that void as well. Me, I haven't found a way to cover that void right now. It's just empty and gaping and black. That sounds crazy, though.
That does sound crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds wild. There's so many ways to
Why is your
skin
pillow
this
cold?
cat.
That's
Why is your pillow cold?
Why is it cold? That is the title of
That's
this
why
episode.
I love this podcast, I'll tell you.
Why is your pillow cold?
Because sometimes you don't know if it's going to be this or that, but it always ends up being that. Listen, why is your pillow cold?
And that's a bar.
That's a bar, you know. That's a bar. I can't lie. It always comes in. Thank you, God. Listen, all right. For me, yeah, because this is something I was asking you earlier. I was basically saying to you earlier, right? I was saying, do you need love in your life, kind of thing, right? But we'll get to that. Why is the pillow cold? Personally, my pillow's cold because I prefer cold pillow.
Yeah.
I like cold pillow because I like hot pillow. I like to turn over my
I like
pillow.
to flip it. I like to flip it. I like to flip
my pillow and it's cold. If you understand what I talk, yeah. So that's why my pillow is cold because I don't want nobody heat on my pillow. Them, I don't want it. Go ahead. All I know with the go ahead. I don't want to. No, on the road though. What? The loneliness, yeah. I think there's a thin line between loneliness and solitude.
Okay.
Right? Solitude is a period, obviously, where it's just you're working out your thing, you're living your life, and you're content in your own space and whatever. Yeah. Now, granted, you have human needs and you have human desires, so those need to be quenched. So looking at our friend who said, he's got his thing that he's lips in. Hey, who am I to judge? Who am I to say? Because I genuinely think that, like,
we need a thumbnail of just doing this.
Yeah. That's the thumbnail. Like, who are we to judge?
With the
second one. Sorry, you audio listeners, please. Like, we need to get our YouTube content. Yeah, this thing's not easy. So yeah, my thing at the end of the day is that who are we to judge? Okay, because you have needs. Like, I was reading about this psychologist today. What's the guy's name? Something, I'm going to get his name, but I was reading about a psychologist and he was basically, it's not Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you don't know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, go and check that out. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is basically the idea that you need food, shelter, you need recognition, love, and then self-actualization. And it has like a triangle of what the human needs. But this guy's called Marshall Rosenberg, and he basically wrote, he was a psychologist and an author, and he basically came up with 9 needs, right, that the human needs, which is sustenance, safety, love, understanding, and empathy, creativity, recreation, belonging, autonomy, and meaning. Yeah. So, if let's say you're a single man and you've got your own thing.
Yeah.
Let's say you got your own place. So you've got safety because you got your own place.
Yes.
You've got recreation because you probably link up with your mates for fun, whatever.
Yep.
A sense of belonging.
You know when you said recreation, I just thought of weed.
Yeah. yeah. You've got your recreation.
I just thought of weed.
Is that where you go to doctors and they're like, do you take any recreational drugs and all of that? So, well, some people
do. They need it.
Some people they need it.
It's medicinal.
It's medicinal. You've got your recreation, so whether that be weed or friends. Hopefully, it's not one over the other. But hey, sense of belonging, autonomy, and meaning. But you haven't got love, understanding, empathy, and to a degree, sense of belonging.
I had a friend recently.
Talk to me.
She said, Afro, you've got people around you that love you, right?
How that make?
Because me and her, we were having a. She knows me in it, like not a deep conversation, but we're having a conversation. I'm having a heart to heart. I'm spewing my heart, right? Her response was, Afro, you've got people around you that love you. I was like, all right.
What was she saying that in a kind of like, but you've got people that love you, so why do you need
someone?
someone?
As a rebuttal to me like pouring out my heart. And the thing is,
that ain't the answer.
I didn't like that answer. I didn't like that answer because it's not that I disagree with her, but that wasn't needed in that moment. Yeah, that wasn't needed. I didn't like that.
No, that's one of those like friend love is not the same as romantic love.
Yeah.
People say you can romanticize your friendship, but no brother's trying to romanticize his friendships.
I'm not trying to do that, man.
You're not trying to. Don't. That's Yeah.
And do you know the thing is even us having this conversation, I know a lot of men that don't like to be as public and vulnerable in this space because all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're dating too much, you're being desperate. I was like, bruv, you think I'm gonna die alone? You think I wanna live this life by myself? Do I look like Paul to you? Do I look like Paul and all these man that them eunuchs that cut off their willy? Like you think I'm one of these man? No, right?
Sometimes at this rate, that seems like the only way to kind of be able to live that single life is if you actually castrate yourself.
No. The problem that we have here, the real problem that we have is a lack of real life interaction. It's all this phone stuff, right? We're all on the phone. We're all communicating in that manner, and we're not really getting a sense of what we're each going through. We're not feeling each other's energy.
No, you're right.
I'm being so serious.
You're not wrong.
When we were younger, bro, like we would play out. Yeah. Playing out, gonna go to the park or the playground and be around people and socialize.
Knocking for your
friends, right? Now all of a sudden, I get it. Yes, we're adults. Yes, I get it. Cost of living. I do understand all these things, but it doesn't take away the sense of belonging that we all urge for. Yeah. That we all want. It can be in a relationship or it could be in friendship. Even friendships are being affected as such because we don't even get to see each other that much anymore. And yes, I get it. The dynamics have changed because people become parents. I get all these things. But like I said in the previous episode, my mumsy was taking myself and my siblings, my sisters, right, to the house parties. We were there. We were there. So for me, I didn't lose that sense of belonging. I made friends in those rooms. Like when we went to those house parties, all the kids were in one room. Yeah. I made friends with people there. Yeah. Right? And I just feel like as we're getting older, we're losing the sense of physical interaction with one another. Right. We desperately need that back. I don't think Gen Z and Gen Alpha know how to. The men, I don't think they know how to flirt with women. All they know is online. You telling me, babes? Good. Do you know why? Because the lines are rehearsed. It's not spontaneous. It's not. They don't want to embarrass themselves. They want to have all the lines set up. And then when they link up with the babe, I've got nothing to say. I don't even know what to say. I didn't prepare myself, or I'm scared now because you're in front of me. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to mess up. You just got to go, and I need that. I'm not gonna lie. I need that.
I think one of the things that's definitely happened is that as a result of this phone addiction that we all seem to have, it's become a thing whereby everybody individuality is being lost, and collective groupthink is now on the rise. So this sense of belonging, we're almost trying to get it from being around the masses, or trying to show everybody that, if I go to this event, or if I go to this thing and I'm snapping for everyone to see that I'm there, then that is my sense of belonging. Whereas actually, in the olden days, your sense of belonging was maybe you got that from one person, and that was from your relationship, and then also maybe your family and friends, close knitted friends, etc. But because I don't know, it's like the world is now under surveillance, and if you don't fall into the category niches of the FYP, I've heard people talk about it in terms of like there was an influencer I was talking to one time on TikTok Live, and it was funny because he kept saying, "Oh yeah, no, that's not my FYP, man. That's not my FYP," and he was referring to specific events that he personally wouldn't go to in his life, because we were talking about different types of social events. He's like, "Nah, that's not my FYP." So we're already taking this concept of social media, TikTok, into our actual lives, as to say that, okay, if I'm not going to be as spontaneous anymore, I'm not going to go with the flow, because I know what I like and I need to follow that path. And if I don't follow that path, then you know what I'm saying? So, and to that point as well, that groupthink and everybody being the same, it's almost like you lose this kind of idea of, oh, I found someone that's a gem and I don't want to let them go. Yeah. Because there's always someone behind them that you can just, move out the way. There's someone else next.
Greedy. We're gluttonous.
We're gluttonous as well. We're gluttonous.
We believe that we have an access to a plethora of, I'm just talking from a male perspective. Yeah. We believe that we have access to a plethora of women. And so there is no sense of settling. Yeah. Because if we settle, then it's like, well, but there's something better. Yeah. On the other side, there's something better. There's always something.
There's always a perception that something is better, but in actuality, how does that? You know, I'd be intrigued to know from different people whether that works out in actual fact. You know, even using Love Island as a case study, for those of you who've watched it, you know, we're seeing currently at the state of the show, state of play in the match, is that the players have already signed to certain clubs, but they're looking around, trying to sign other contracts at the same time, or trying to have make friendlies, trying to have friendlies here to make a move over there, when really they've got it good at home. So that's one of the things that I think is, you know what?
Why are we greedy though?
Do you know what? It depends on how you look. How you look at it. Okay. I think if you used to look at it biblically, I remember there was one scripture that says, like, it basically says that hell has no end, and neither does human desire. Hell has no
what scripture
end, and let me find it.
Oh, you googling it?
Yeah, Google. I can't lie to you guys. Google, yeah.
I could tell whilst Michael's looking for that. Oh, you found it.
Oh, okay, were you gonna say something though?
I was just gonna say that as a man, you know, I've experienced some things. And I can settle quickly. Not quickly, but I can settle, right? I can settle. But when I haven't settled, right, and I see something that I like that is nice, my eyes do wander like, this is nice. Now I understand why Paul said, "You man, go get married quickly."
Yeah. This is why Paul was advocating, you lot do your thing ASAP.
ASAP, man.
Trust me. So I found the scripture here.
Go on.
Okay, so biblically, Proverbs 27:20, just as death and destruction are never satisfied, so human desire is never satisfied.
So that means that we will never get to a point in which we are satisfied with what we have. That means that we're always going to want more.
Yes.
So there's an intrinsic nature to be gluttonous.
Yes. It is intrinsic within the human makeup to desire more consistently. If you think about it, when you're even down to the small things, it doesn't just have to be crude things. Like you have a good meal on a Friday night, Saturday morning you're hungry again. Yeah. You desire something more. Yeah. There's always the human desire is never fully satisfied, right? So I think that's one of the reasons. I remember hearing that years ago and I was like, okay, cool, that might be one of the reasons. But also I think we now have access to a range of possibilities that we never once. No human race like in time has ever had as much access
Yeah.
to the world that
Yeah.
we do now.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll know the full extent to what effects that has on us
Yeah.
as a human species, on
Yeah.
the brain, relationships, love, faith, life, all the different facets of the human experience until later. They'll research it.
Do you ever think about the women of your past and think this could have worked?
Yeah.
Because
2 days ago.
with everything with 2 days ago.
2 days ago. 2 days. 2 days ago, I was in my bed cracking up, over one joke that me and an ex had years ago. When I say I was laughing, but I was like, there was no one in the room with me.
Yeah.
That's
You
how
were just
that's how you know
laughing,
I'm getting to that weirdo stage. You know when you're just laughing by yourself in your bed.
Bro, I do that.
I'm getting to that weirdo stage. Like, the walls are closing in. Like, literally, bro, I was cracking up and I was like,
It could have.
Could it have worked? Could it? I didn't say it could have.
Okay.
I don't know if it could have, but part of me maybe, if I could look back in hindsight, it didn't work for the reason it didn't work.
Yeah. But was it something that could have been resolved?
Yeah. I think it always can be. I do think, unless it's, egregious things that you're doing, I think it can always be resolved.
I think it can.
How about you?
Not recently. Though there is one babe that I messaged because it was her birthday, right? But it came up on my phone, so it wasn't that I remembered.
Okay.
It's just that, when you add some of these contacts, right? I added her birthday as well, right? I just messaged her, but I wasn't thinking about her. I said happy birthday. I know I'm the last person that you'd think to that would say happy birthday to you, but I just said it anyway.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Left it. Did she say anything?
Oh, she's like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Do you think you should keep contact with people of the past?
No.
Really? Okay.
Not really.
Why?
Because you're the past. Like if it happens and it's just if we see each other, then it will naturally reignite. Whether even if it's just friendship or just being amicable, then it will reignite itself. But if not, if fate is not set up for that to happen, then
you should let the bygones be bygones.
Let bygones be bygones and just leave it. I was at a party / christening, right? Last month, right? And there was at the back of my mind, there was a babe that I was expecting that should have actually been there.
Okay.
But the reason why she wasn't there is because her and the person whose birthday it was are no longer friends.
Ooh. See, I told you, them female friendships.
You see? They're no longer friends. So I'm actually quite happy about that. But at the same time, I was like, it'd be nice to see her. Not because I wanted to move to her, because I would never now. For the simple fact she's married.
Well, there's that.
But it would have just been nice to just see her again.
Do you know what? I think that's a level of maturity as well, where you can say, you know what, we did our thing in the past.
Yeah.
We were who we were then when we were them. We've moved on and hopefully grown and matured since that point. And now I'm a different person.
Because I don't necessarily hold grudges. Even if I feel like as if I've been done dirty or I'm wrong in some capacity, like I can't do anything about the past. So why am I holding on to those feelings?
Yeah, it's true.
Why am I harboring over them?
True.
It's
a waste of energy.
Yeah, it's a waste of energy. So I always wish them the best, and it would always be nice to bump into any of the women of my past.
Like that.
Honestly, like I don't have a problem with any of them.
Do you know that's the one thing that I rate about probably you compared to me? I don't forget nothing. Me don't forget not a thing. Me don't forget nothing. So nobody come round me.
No, and I've been obviously I've spoken about it on the pod. I have been hurt.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been hurt.
Yes.
But it would still be nice to see them.
Just to make sure that they're well.
Yeah, just to make sure that they're well. Yeah.
Yeah, because one thing I have actually done, to be fair, is I've always tried to keep...
My pillow's still cold though.
Yeah, I was gonna say...
It's still cold.
I wasn't gonna get to that point. I was gonna say that. One thing I will say is that I probably tried to keep things amicable with all of my past.
Because I know you've been seeing them. I know Michael's seen them, boy. And the stories he's told me, I'm like, how does he actually do it? Because, if the hurt is fresh, right? Because mine are all old now. I don't know how I would react. I don't even want to see you. And I'm saying that, I just deeped. I'm kind of a liar, small, Because we went to a wedding 2 years ago,
Yeah.
And there was a babe that was at that wedding. I can't say who it is out loud. Right? There was a babe that was at this wedding. Oh my gosh, I was in love with that babe. I was in love with her. Wow. I had to avoid it though.
Did you?
No, we saw each other,
Okay.
But it was just like, who are you?
What? Not the who are you?
Who are you? Past her, man. She's so fine. Oh gosh.
Oh God. And at weddings, when you see the ex at the wedding,
she's married as well now.
Oh, is it?
They're always married, but that's the age that we're at now, isn't it?
That's the age we're at, bro.
Yeah. Fine,
and they get caught quite quickly as well. The girls they get wrapped up quite quickly.
Slim pickings.
Slim pickings.
There's nothing out there.
There's slim pickings, y'all. We gotta go abroad. We gotta go.
We're
gonna go Belize.
Yeah, Bermuda.
We should go Bermuda, Belize, bruv. I could find a miracle, yeah.
There's nothing left here.
Nothing left.
Do you know it's funny that we say that, because remember we had this conversation a while back, bro. I did the numbers. Guys.
You know we actually did the mathematics. As in we did the statistics.
I did it. There's nobody here.
Nobody not left.
But,
yeah.
Okay, cool. Think about it, guys. Yeah. This country is 70 million people. Now, depending on your preference, right? If we look at black people in this country alone, we are, is it 3%? 3%. Right, keep that in mind. 3%.
Yeah.
Right? 1% is 7 million. Right?
Yeah.
So that means 3% is 20. It can't be 21. What am I doing?
Wait. Give me the maths again.
No, 200. No, that's rubbish maths.
Give me the numbers again.
3%. There's 3% of us. 70 million people live in this country.
Okay, so
1% is actually 700,000.
Yes, 1% 700,000. So there's 2.1 million.
So there's 2.1 million black people in this country. 2.1 million, right? So depending on your age range, what you're going for, we are in our 30s, right? So I did a quick calculation. I was like, there's probably like 100,000, 150,000 of us in that age range. Now
there must be more than that. There must be more than 150,000. I thought there must be more.
Age range.
Yes, come on, there must be more.
How much more do you
think about how many people live in Birmingham, Manchester, London?
Our age range.
In our 30s age range.
30s,
there must be 30s. At least 2.1 million. Yeah,
2.1 million.
2.1 million black people. There must be at least a million 30 plus year old 30 to 40 year old black people.
There's a million?
Yeah, there must be
2.1 million. So you're saying we're over 50%. You're saying we're more than 50. You've lost your damn mind.
Chat GPT.
Okay, I'm gonna chat GPT. Continue.
Yeah, there must be. How can they think about all the schools of all the people that are there? There must be how many 30 to 40 people, 30 to 40 year olds are there? We'll ask Chat GPT, but coming on, am I right? But that's why you have to flee, guys. Flee. Leave the UK. Leave the UK. Don't take unnecessary journeys. Good.
How many black people that are in
in their 30s?
That are in.
You don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
I see English. How many black people are there in their 30s? I thought, Jesus.
No, it's because you're here.
I know, it's because how many black people are there in their 30s in the UK? Yeah. So because I think there has to be at least 1 million. Surely. Look at all the people going to fit the music. They're not us.
Bro, that's not a lot, you know.
Oh, wow.
You see? I was right, bro.
Okay, fair.
So in our 30s, there's 170,980 black people between 30 and 34.
That's actually slim picking.
Do you know how slim that is?
Slim pickings for true, you know.
There's nothing left. There's nothing left.
I am done. It's actually slim pickings.
There's nothing left. So deep it, yeah, bro. When you're like, I'm not meeting anybody new, it's because they're all gone.
They're gone.
It's because they're all gone.
And how many are they married? Some of them ain't even. How many?
Exactly. So that number is probably even half. So, and that is why your pillow's cold.
Jesus.
That is why your pillow's cold. I've given you the answer. So you know all our female friends. You know a lot of them talk. They talk about dating all the time, right?
Yeah.
There's no good men. I'm telling you why. Because there's only there's in total 170,980 that are 30 to 34.
Brother.
We haven't even accounted for those that are married, right?
Fam.
So there's nothing here.
There's actually nothing here, guys. Leave the island.
America, man.
Leave the island. Guys, don't take unnecessary journeys. Leave.
That's
Leave.
why even, do you know what, yeah? I've deeped it, yeah? If we're having the issue, yeah? Matt's having a bigger issue as well because he's like, there's no women around.
There's none.
And Matt's white.
And Matt's white. Our friend Matt. Matt's white and he's having trouble. Yo, we need to leave that country, you know?
Bro.
We need to go.
Yeah.
We'll type in the same for America. Guys, this is why. So look, some of you lot be like, oh, passport bros and all of this, yeah, it's not good. Listen, this is why the man them having to flee and go places. The maths is maths in. How many black people in their 30s in America? That are in their 30s. This is actually the fact that it's actually statistically proven.
America. Statistically proven. America's going to give us some big boy numbers. Hold on, it's coming,
guys. It's not about prayer. It's about the stats.
4.69 million.
All right, see you later.
30 to 34.
Bye, guys. It's been good.
My pillow will never be cold. I got a wedding to go to next year anyway.
See you later.
I got a wedding to go to next year anyway. So in America, so I'll be there because my pillow will never. After summer, after July 2026. Yeah, sorry, my bad. After July 2026, my pillow will never be cold, bro.
This guy is so excited. Okay,
get out of here, man.
No,
I don't want to be. I don't want to be 40. I don't want to be 40 and like this, you know,
bro.
I don't.
What?
I don't even want this to be a topic of conversation. By the time I hit 40,
we'll start our own Chizo channel.
Yeah, I don't want to be that.
Mike.
No disrespect to anybody that's 40 and like.
Yeah, no.
So by themselves because I hear it, man. But like, I just don't want to be there.
Bro, let's deep it. There's 4.69 million black individuals between 30 and 34 in the US, and 4.5. That's 9.2 million black people.
We don't even account for 10% here in this country.
That's insane, yo.
We don't even account for 5%.
5%.
It's bad. It's bad.
That's bad, man. That's bad. So the solution is to travel.
The solution is it's always been.
I've been telling my bro here, my good brother Afro here, to go Texas for the longest because guys. Tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong yet. Let me tell you this. You know, I've predicted 3 weddings in the past. Me I profit, you know? Me I profit. Me tell on for a long time he's a prophet, but not taking me serious.
How about for yourself?
Because you see me in a Lakers vest, not take me serious. Yeah, me's a prophet.
That the telling me go to America?
Yeah, me telling to go to America a long time. I say, Afro, go to America. You get swept, bro. You be a husband. And if you. But slightly, but don't leave me though.
I'm not going anywhere, bro. You might as well just come as well.
I'm going.
Just scoop up. I still remember Jamaica.
Let's sweep up.
I remember Jamaica, Miss Brooklyn. Miss Brooklyn. Oh.
If you're out there, babes, and you're watching this,
Miss Brooklyn was. Oh my gosh.
Miss Brooklyn, boy, with the white, all white. She said,
"You know that night that you went missing, right?
Yeah.
Oh my days, bro. What happened? It was like she had a beige thing on.
Mad thing. I actually had a breakdown because I was gone.
Yeah. Shouting at me. I was like, I'm trying to chat off with babes.
What did she say? Where's Michael?
Yeah. Yeah, he left me for the other girl. That's what she said.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what's crazy? When you go to America, that's when you realize, oh, I'm actually handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, people actually like me.
Your pillow will not be cold.
Your pillow will not be cold in the US.
Because, do you know what it is?
Why they all on pop the balloon then?
I don't know. Do you know what it is in this country, yeah? We don't like to compliment. We don't like to compliment.
Yeah.
There is a sense of being a beg.
Yeah.
Which is why I think like a lot of men will be thinking that, oh, I'm all right, you know. What is going on?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say I'm the dog's bollocks, right? But like, I'm all right. So what is going on? Why can't I find anybody decent?
Betty Swallocks. Have you ever heard of Betty Swallocks?
What?
Do you know what Betty Swallocks is?
No. What's that?
Sorry. When you said the dog's bollocks, it made me think of Betty. You never heard Betty Swallocks before?
Betty Swallocks?
Betty Swallocks means sweaty bollocks. It's in Cockney slang.
So that's what they say.
They say, oh, you got Betty Swallocks.
You got Betty Swallocks. You got Betty Swallocks.
Sorry, that is 2 jokes, bruv. You got Betty Swallocks. Oh, I'm so glad this podcast has a niche audience, because it's so weird, man. Yeah, we'll have a great audience in Jesus' name.
Amen. No, I just feel like I think we would all be appreciated better when we're not in this country.
So do you feel underappreciated in this country?
I think that's hard for me to say because it's not as if I've met everybody. So I haven't met every woman. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm so dating is an exercise in itself. It's a chore.
It is, yeah.
And I don't know how many times I want to go through that. And also, because my boy was asking me a few days ago, is Afro, like, what's going on? Like, you're so single. I was like, I don't know. But one thing I do know is that sometimes I just think I'm too good for a lot of these women.
Bro, I hear it.
I'm not going to lie. That's how I feel.
I
feel like that. I feel like I've done so much work internally to myself. It's like as much as my pillow is cold, I don't want to bring anybody that will not complement the piece that is already here. Do you know what I mean?
My boy.
Because you know the work I've done. So I can't now. I'm not saying that she's not going to have issues because we're here to help one another, right?
Of course.
But what I have right now cannot be disrupted by one yeah girl. No way. No, it cannot be. We got another one. Nah, so I think I always have that at the back of my mind as well. But also, I don't want to judge people by their covers because I don't know. Like, obviously, I can't say this on mic, but there's a girl that you were telling me about, and you said, I don't move to her because her friends will eat you up alive. They'll eat you alive.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a shame that we have to be wary in that manner.
Yeah, it is. And you know what it is? I think it's not that. It goes back to what you said about the kind of like the superficiality sometimes when it comes to the dating realm. And I think this is why I asked you as well. When I asked you earlier on today, when I said, do you think that the modern man who has the conveniences of life kind of available to him, in that really, if you're living a decent life, making a decent wage, you can afford certain things, it comes to a point where you have to kind of evaluate what role would you like a partner to play in your life, because I think because of today's conveniences, we're all kind of in some way very self-sustaining.
Yes.
In many ways.
Yes.
So the only way that you're not self-sustaining is maybe in the kind of like the love and the well, you can have self-love, but like there may be the physical elements of well, even then some people are self-sustaining in that.
There's loads of ways to be sustained.
There's many ways to skin a cat, mate. There's many ways to skin a cat, isn't there?
You're gonna skin that cat well. Do you know what I mean?
That rose with the rose and that with the rose and that. So,
and that girthy purple thing, bruv. Why is it so? Why is it mad girthy?
Why is it mad girthy? It's too much, man. It's too much.
And everything, but it's mad.
Except for the girls in Dubai, they're not allowed them, boy. But
they
must be suffering. They must be suffering over this. So, me too. Me that gonna be a street rat go run about the place. Me too. Me that do it too. Sure. Hey, anyways, like it's essentially you don't want to. You have to think about now what role would you like a partner to play. Whereas I think back in our parents' day, or grandparents' day, that wasn't such a thing. Men were more the breadwinners, or there were all of these kind of things that were available to men that weren't available to women. So now even for the women, they're having the same issue where they're having to think, who do I want to bring into my life, and what purpose are they going to serve? Like we're curating more these days than we ever have done before.
There were more things to consider. And also when it comes to proximity, that isn't a factor to us.
Yeah.
You know, you'd probably date somebody in your village that lives in your village back in the day, right? Whereas now, I found her on Instagram. She lives in America. I'm gonna go see her.
Yeah,
that's what it is now.
Because the world is smaller.
The world is smaller. So, and you think that you have more options.
Yeah.
And so, I could go far and wide. Let me see what I can find and what is available. And I think that actually kind of stunts our growth, because I think as an individual you can live your life and you can be whole, but you can never be complete. I don't think you can ever really be complete, because there's a perspective that somebody's going to see of you that you don't see of yourself.
Interesting.
And I think that's where
blind spots.
Blind spots. And I think that's one of the great benefits of having a partnership, right? She's always going to be able to see things that you can't, and vice versa. And that's how you help one another grow, and that's how you become whole and complete.
And this is also,
and that's why my pillow is cold.
Yeah, that's why the pillow is cold at night, and day and night. The thing that's interesting is that you're kind of alluding to this paradox of choice. I remember there was a study they did in economics where they talked about restaurants, and the restaurants that you go to with the overwhelming menus tend to be the most irritating, because there's just too much choice.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where it's like, okay, I could have that, but I could have that. Everything looks good. What am I going to get? I don't know what to get. So you spend a longer time. Whereas when you have certain restaurants, I know there's a particular French restaurant where they just serve steak and fries. And then I think the dessert is like something like a banana pudding or something. That's the only thing that's on the menu. But they sell out, and they charge a lot, because people know that they're going to get that specialty when they go there, right? And that's the only thing. And they still do really well. So you can have... It's this kind of idea of there's so much available to you that you don't even know what to choose. Because let's say you have a girl that has 80%, but that 20%... Maybe Sandra over the road gives that... Sandra can throw down in the kitchen, but she's not as funny as your girl. So you got to deal with the girl that's funny and she makes you laugh, and she's a companion, and she sees your weaknesses and she helps you, but she can't cook. So do you know what I mean?
So then that means I got a question for you.
Go for it, bro.
I got it for the people who are faith-based and the people who are atheists. It's the same question, but different thing. Watch this.
Go for it.
Do you think God or the universe knows what you want? Do you think he knows what you
want? I love you, bro. I just love that you asked that question, man.
Because we're talking
I love that you asked that question.
We're talking about choice. We're talking about proximity. We're talking about options.
Yes.
I almost feel as if that when left into our own devices, we don't pick anything. But if we leave it to something else, an entity that is far beyond our comprehension and understanding, maybe it can pick for us. So do you believe God or the universe? Why am I saying that? God or the universe?
Yeah.
Do you think... I don't believe in the universe, by the way. Do you believe God or the universe picks for you?
You know...
Or can pick for you?
You know, I actually do believe that. I do believe that. Now, contrary to popular opinion, a lot of people say, no, it doesn't. You have to go out and pick. Yes, I'm not negating your free will in the choice of said thing. That doesn't negate the fact that God chooses for you, doesn't negate that you have a free will and you do the choosing. If you look at it for the biblical people, I think there's a scripture that says it is God who wills in us to do his good work. So it's like us doing it, but he's willing it in us to do it, right? So that's for the biblical people. For the universe man them and the spiritual folk, they would say, I guess it's like about alignment and about you put the universe will bring it to you in a way, in a certain way, right? I think ultimately, if you get into that kind of like still quiet mode where you say, do you know what, who is the person that is actually for me? I think you will get your answer. Okay. I think...
Have you ever asked, prayed that?
I'm scared to ask that question.
I'm scared to ask that as well.
Because in some ways I kind of feel like once I ask it, I'll know, and then that's it.
Yeah, and also sometimes I'm just comfortable with how life is right now.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm afraid to ask, because if I ask that, right, and it comes to fruition, my life changes forever.
That's right.
And I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for that.
That's right. Once you know, you can't unknow. Yeah,
and also my surroundings is just surrounded by divorce right now. But man, I'm just getting divorced, bro. Like, I don't want that for me.
No.
So I'm like, life is kind of okay right now. Can I do this for the rest of my life? Maybe. I'm used to it.
I have thought about it. I'm like, well, technically, I've spent more years single than I have in a relationship.
Yeah.
So what's to say I couldn't just do more of it?
Yeah.
But I think when you get in the right relationship, maybe you just be like, oh no, I wouldn't live the rest of my life like this.
Do you know another thing as well for me? Yeah, like I'm not like some of my friends here are knackers, and I mean that they are constantly knacking, right?
Bare concubines,
right? And they use that as a means to cover the void. Whereas it's like if we're having these conversations, I feel as if myself and them are in the same position, but the way in which we communicate it is different.
Yeah,
they communicate it by just
knacking,
whereas we communicate it through a podcast. We're just talking about it freely here, but I feel like
you feel like it's the same thing that they're experiencing, right?
It's all the same.
Interesting.
Like I've had these conversations like, okay, I'm going to be intentional after summer.
Yeah.
And do you know why they're saying after summer? Because their concubines are lined up.
They're lined up for the summer, man.
Lined up.
In the sundresses.
Whereas with me, I'm not that way inclined, right? That's never been me, in fact. Let's not say really. It's never been me, right? So mine has always been, I'm going to settle down, man.
You know, I think this is where you have to question like quality versus quantity, right? Because you can have quantity and you can have some good quantity of things. Don't get me wrong, just because you have quantity doesn't mean it's low quality.
Yes.
But you can have good quantity of things. But I guess at the end of the day, is it a thing whereby you kind of want the higher quality thing as the main and as the only overall, you know? But that comes with its own responsibilities. I think for me, in terms of, I second your opinion in terms of, I know the kind of work that I've put in on myself, and I would like to be in a relationship where that is reflected, so that it's a situation whereby you don't kind of feel like you're like being dragged down or you're dragging them up or anything like that. It's a situation where it's like both are equal and both are working and helping each other and supporting each other. That's the kind of thing that I want.
Yeah.
But I won't lie, that cold period, the cold pillow period, shall we call it? Yeah, the cold pillow period is serious because you have to actively believe that there will be a warm pillow coming one day. Yeah. Even though you can't see that warm pillow.
Who speaks in more parables? Us or Jesus?
Well, he got him followers, boy, so maybe he can do us the same. You lot subscribe. Yeah?
Yes.
Subscribe. You don't hear the poetry. Word. See what I'm saying? So if it's hard because you're kind of, what's the word? What's the word when you delay gratification?
Yeah,
delay gratification.
Yeah.
But then I guess you could argue, let me flip the script quickly, yeah? If let's say you would just had loads of quantity. Yeah. So you had high quantity of girls, right? So you had high quantity. Would you be happy to sustain that? Let's just say you had a high quantity and then...
No, because I think that'll bring more headache than it does.
Okay.
Good. I get that, and because I've just never been that way, and I have friends that are that way. Yeah. Right? And I hear the complaints, and I'm just like, it's not something that I necessarily want to go through myself. Somebody mad is going to pop up in your life all of a sudden. I don't want those issues, and I'm quite glad that I haven't had it. But I will be honest, sometimes there is an element of jealousy that comes from in my position, because I think
jealous.
I sometimes think, I'm like, I could go down that route.
Ladies and gentlemen.
When I push it in,
she said, "Oh." Jealous. So there's that element of jealousy.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's actually, I don't even say jealousy. It's more of like,
is that
I wasn't brought up this way. I didn't take on those mannerisms and that behavior. It's just never been me. But I've always thought, what if I did do that? What if I wasn't
right.
not to say too much here. Not to say too much.
Yeah.
I've tried being a scumbag.
Right. Not to say too much, but I've tried being a scumbag.
I tried being a scumbag, yeah. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I was like, did I call you? No, I didn't call you. But we spoke.
Yeah.
We spoke.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. We spoke.
Right? And then stuff happened, and yeah, I felt bad.
Right.
I felt really,
so
really
that
bad.
lifestyle wasn't suited for you. You feel?
No.
Okay.
And it's just me being honest, man. Like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
So my pillow will remain cold until I can get it warm.
You know what, bro? And I think in all honesty, it takes a lot to I'd say admit that, but to just be honest about that, because I think
do you know why I haven't been the reason? Well, first of all, the reason I haven't spoken about it ever, like publicly, is because we haven't had a podcast in years. So that's the first reason.
What is that?
The second reason is because, as much as for the most part, I don't necessarily care what people think or say about me, there is a part of me that does. So me being vulnerable and talking about these things, right, it puts me in a sensitive position.
Of course.
Anybody can use this and weaponize it against me, but I'm luckily I don't have any ops. No. So I don't expect that to happen to me. And I think whoever listens to this, especially because I just want young men to just be better than myself, right? I want them to be able to listen to this and know that, there are normal guys who are experiencing these things, who have attempted to go down routes that are not compatible to their character, right? We've done stupid things, but we're here, we've learned from it, and we're trying to grow. We have feelings as well, we have emotions. There are all these men that are out there that suppress them, right, and are internally damaging themselves. Whilst they exist, there are also men out here who are expressive, right, and we're trying to normalize that as well. I'm emotional, so I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to express those emotions, and I want people to know that it's very normal to have them because God gave them to all of us.
Facts. Big facts. Come on, Afro. Jeez. Bar them down, bro. Yeah, no, honestly, I think that's right. I think there's power in being able to just... Do you know what it is? There's power in being able to say, I'm this type of guy, and that's who I am. Yeah. If I don't fancy following down that path that all the man them are doing, or all your certain friends are doing that, it takes more, I think, grit, courage, resilience, all the characteristics that you would attribute to manhood, to say, nah, this is my lane. Yeah. I'm going to sustain the cold pillow for now and then go and find what I want for me. Yeah. That's going to be a permanent thing. Yeah. Now, granted, no one's perfect. You're going to have things with this.
I can make mistakes, I can slip up as well.
People can slip up and make mistakes.
I'm going to tell you this now, even if I'm in something solid, I still like gal.
There you go.
I still
your eyes are still working.
My eyes are working. Right, thank God they're working.
Yeah, they're still working. Behind them shades there. They're still working.
They're working.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're in that, but it still takes that courage to say, the man them are doing this. I'm gonna do this. For me. Yeah. It's not about who's right, wrong, and who's doing this. No. Every man. There's a way that a man thinks is right in his heart. You get what I'm saying? Every man thinks that what they're doing is right for them. However they decide to do whatever they're doing. However, there's no point you placating into something that you think is for you when really deep down it's actually just not you. Yeah. Like, that's not you, bro. And it goes back to what I say, and one of the reasons why I like this podcast. Go ahead.
I was thinking of, again, I'm going to just say stuff, right? Yeah. We were in Jamaica, Remember when I asked that girl on a date?
Vaguely. When?
Remember the dark skin babe?
Oh yeah.
Because I know what some man were on. Not my boys, but I know what some man were on. I'm not like that. I was like, I actually want to like this.
Do you want to go on a date?
Yeah. I was like, because that's what I want. Yeah. Like, let's chat and. She said no though. But it doesn't matter.
We win some, we lose some.
We win some, we lose some, man. Yeah. But like that's just the way that I'm inclined. Mm-hmm. Imagine if that had banged and then I'm doing transatlantic.
Bro, that would have been crazy, man.
That would have been mad.
That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. That would actually been sick,
I wanted the other one,
You know what?
I wanted the other one.
I know you did. I know you did. I know which one you wanted.
Yeah, I really wanted that one as well, man.
She suited you.
Yeah, she did.
What I like about American babes, what I really like, they're so enthusiastic and upfront. That's the thing that I enjoy. This kind of coy British, like, don't be a beg.
I don't like it, man.
Look at each other sideways, but not really say how we feel thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't bang, guys. Like, in America, they're so just like, they'll tell you up front, this is what I'm thinking. Sometimes they're a bit unhinged and they get bumming damn nerves. We love them anyway. But sometimes it can be a little bit... I
said cousins.
Cousins. Sometimes it can be a bit unhinged, but for the most part, they get what they want because everybody is just open.
Yeah.
Nobody's... Obviously, people with different personalities, but everyone's open. Yeah, man. I think like you say, for younger men who listen to this podcast, man, just be yourself, bro. Man. You don't need to be a scumbag if you don't want to be. You actually don't have to live that life, my boy.
Not all, man.
Obviously, you know, every man has their needs, so men will go about it and meet those needs in the way they see fit. But again, it comes down to, are you being yourself?
Yeah.
Are you living in the confines of who you know yourself to be?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or are you just kind of not living that life?
Yeah.
And that goes vice versa, you know. Because you know, there's some men who are trying to live I'm not doing anything life, but really they're a dog in their heart.
In your heart.
I'm not saying go out and be a dog, but I'm just saying.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Why are you there? Why do you feel this way?
Yeah.
Right? What goes on in your heart? And just say what it is for real. But those are the type of conversations we have off the pod.
Yeah, we have those conversations.
Yeah.
Offline.
Yeah, offline.
Because we're not going to be clipped we're not going to be clipped out in this place. But again, it's this human desire is never satisfied. So this is why contentment has to kind of step in at some point. You got to say, all right, cool. Do you know what? I'm at the game, you know. It's good. There are other leagues that can be playing in. There are other, you know, fixtures that can be a part of. However, I've won my trophy, and I'm okay with this. I'm actually happy with this, you know.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm happy with this.
I'm happy.
I
spectate.
Yeah.
I might go to a couple games, and I'm like, raw boy, the players are really skillful.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Technique.
Techers.
Techers. Yeah. Good on the ball.
It's there. Oh me. Oh my. Oh me. Oh my. Good on the balls.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so silly, man.
This podcast is the best fix since last bread, mate. I'll tell you that for free. I'll tell you. Good technique.
Yeah.
But I retired.
I'm out.
I'm out the game.
I'm out.
I'm out the game. So, to each man their own. Yeah? You gotta keep your pillow warm. Because I'll tell you what, yeah?
I'll just tell you this now, yeah.
There's keeping your pillow cold, yeah? There's having a cold pillow.
Yeah.
There's having a warm pillow.
Yeah.
And then there's that pillow going up in flames. Yeah. And you don't want that pillow going up in flames.
You don't want that one.
You don't want that one. So just keep it warm.
I'll be real, yeah. The longer life goes, yeah, the more that my pillow will be warm, even temporarily. There might be times that it'll be warm. Yes. There might be times that it'll be warm.
Do with that information what you will.
Exactly. Yeah.
It might not even be my pillow.
Hey, it might not be my pillow.
It might be abroad.
Might be abroad. Might be
in the hotel.
Pillow.
Might be the hotel pillow.
Might be the Airbnb pillow.
Might be the Airbnb. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
No, bro, this is such a coded episode.
To another episode of the Point Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
No, we hope you guys
enjoyed it. We had a blast. Well, yeah, we have as well.
We had no idea what we were going to talk about. So we were just like, let's spit. This is a freestyle, by the way.
It's a freestyler. It's a freestyler for you guys, man. But thanks for tuning in.
No, thank you so much.
Again, you know what to do. Follow us on all socials. Share with a friend, guys. In fact, now, share it. Click that little arrow and share with 3 people now.
We want more comments as well. More comments, please.
Yeah.
I need to respond back to people on IG as well.
Yes,
I'm going to.
Please do
before this episode is out.
Please,
I will respond.
Share, like, comment, subscribe.
Yep.
Just help your brothers.
Help
man.
us out.
Do
Help us
your
out.
thing. No, share.
Yeah.
Any last words, bro? Anything you want to get off your chest before we?
Yeah, baby, take me back.
Uh-oh!
There's nobody. I just wanted to say something for clips. There's nobody.
Bro's clip farming, boy.
That's it, man. There's
Bro's
no one.
fully clip farming,
There's
man.
no one,
Okay.
man. There's no
All right,
one.
cool. Well, with that being
Except for
said,
that one babe, man.
which one, babe?
The Ghanaian babe, man.
Oh, yeah.
Still love her.
I see you with a Ghanaian, you know.
I saw myself with a Ghanaian.
I see you with a Ghanaian.
And then she was just doing up Shakaya.
Ah.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what? I could actually, there's so much more I want to say on this topic, you know. There's actually bare more, but anyway.
I see you, Ghanaian babe.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Ghanaian, Jamaican.
Yeah.
I see you. Where else? Everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
I could see you with babe from the Far East, you know.
What, as in
Like,
Asia?
Yeah,
Is
Filipino.
it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think you could do a Mexicano
Yeah,
babe.
yeah.
A Latino babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Global citizen for real.
Don't limit me.
Yeah.
Don't limit me, boy.
Yeah.
Global citizen.
Yeah.
Global footprint. My carbon footprint is gonna be crazy, boy.
North Africa, I see that for
Yeah.
you. East.
South.
South Africa. Yeah.
Westy.
Pretty much everywhere, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I see that for you, though.
I got to rack up my air miles.
Oh, you pig. Gluttonous pig, man. He wants to eat it all. I've exposed him, you know. I've exposed him. I'll tell you guys, I'm going to tell you all the time, before we go, yeah, Michael's not who you think he is. He's not who you think he is. The thing is, yeah, all these female friends, let me tell you, yeah, all those acquaintances, not even these female friends, all those acquaintances that secretly love Michael, yeah.
I'm screaming!
He's not who you think he is. Yeah, guys are gluttonous pig. I've been on holiday with him. Gluttonous pig. Yeah. Wow. This guy will eat and say, "Where's dessert? Where's dessert?" And he's the one saying, "Yo, let's go and get dessert. Let's go." But do you know what it is? He masks it. He says it in such a nice, subtle way that nobody suspects him. Nobody suspects him. But I caught him. I caught him, bruv. There's even some things I can't even say on this pod. I'm going to say off once I press stop on this thing, bruv. Once I press stop on this thing, there's one holiday I'm thinking of, one infamous holiday, but I cannot say it because it will cause trouble.
I've enjoyed this analysis, you know. I love when people analyze.
Bro,
I love it.
I know you better than everybody. Outside your family, man, know you. You are not who you think you are. Anyways, guys, it's been a great episode. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the YouTube. Comment on us on podcasts. Find us everywhere. And we will see you next week. Yeah, safe.
See you later, guys. Peace.